Hey, you ever wonder what happens to old soldiers? I mean, after the medals fade and nobody remembers their name. Three young female cadets in sharp black and gold uniforms were laughing in a hallway of the academy. Their boots clicked confidently across the tile, voices full of youth and arrogance. They came to a sudden stop when they spotted her. The janitor. Hunched over with a mop in hand, she was pushing a bucket slowly, each step deliberate. Her uniform wasn't pressed or starched. It was an old faded blouse, sleeves rolled, an apron stained with bleach and years of labor. Her name tag read M. Reyes, but to them she was invisible, until she wasn't. General of Garbage, huh? One of them scoffed. Is that what she calls herself? Another giggled, nudging her friend. She probably thinks she's still in charge of something. The janitor said nothing. She kept her head down, gripping the mop tighter. Her silver hair was pulled into a low bun, strands falling out around her tired face, but their taunts didn't stop. Look at her, the tallest cadet sneered, probably dreams of cleaning up after generals. Congratulations, Reyes, you made it. What they didn't notice was the tall silhouette approaching from the far end of the corridor. A woman in full formal uniform, boots echoing with quiet authority, stopped just inside the doorway. Brigadier General Evelyn Hart, the most respected, most decorated officer on base. Her eyes locked onto the scene, her jaw tense. But she waited, she watched, and when the moment hit its ugliest point, she stepped forward. Cadets, attention. The hallway froze. The laughter vanished like smoke. The cadets stiffened, standing upright in a flash, faces pale. Reyes instinctively stepped back, shoulders hunched even more, but General Hart wasn't done. Tell me, Hart said, walking slowly toward them, what exactly is so amusing about the woman who taught me how to stitch a wound under fire? Dead silence. The cadets looked at each other, confused. She's the janitor, ma'am, one of them finally whispered. She's Major Maria Reyes, the general corrected, voice steady. Retired Special Forces, Bronze Star. 3 tours, survived an ambush in Kandahar by dragging 2 soldiers across open fire. She didn't just serve, she led. And when she came home, she didn't ask for a parade. She picked up a mop because she believed no job is beneath someone who's truly served. Reyes stood in place, eyes flickering with a mix of pain and pride. She wasn't one to speak of her past. She'd rather clean silently than wear her story like a badge. But now the truth was laid bare, and the cadets stood face to face with a woman they had no right to mock. General Hart's voice lowered, but the weight of her words landed like steel. She doesn't need a title. She earned something far greater. Respect. And you just lost yours. The cadets shifted uncomfortably, eyes to the ground. We didn't know, one of them muttered. You didn't ask, Hart said sharply. That's the problem. And then, to everyone's shock, General Hart reached for the mop and leaned it gently against the wall. She turned to Reyes and gave a slow, deliberate salute. Thank you, Major, for your service and your example. Reyes didn't speak. She nodded once, eyes misty but unbroken. The mop stayed where it was. Her dignity, long ignored, now stood tall in the center of that hallway. Later that day, the cadets were reassigned. Extra duty, silent reflection. The hallway remained clean, but their hearts had been swept out too. In General Hart's office sat an old black and white photo, 4 women in camo laughing. One of them, younger but unmistakable, held a mop like it was a weapon. Some stories don't come with applause. Some heroes never ask to be seen. But once in a while, the world is forced to look again and see them for who they really are. So, we often judge based on what someone does now, not what they've survived. But titles fade, uniforms come off. The real measure of a person is in how they carry what life has given and taken from them. Real service doesn't demand attention, but it deserves respect. Have you ever been misjudged by your appearance, your job, or your silence? Have you ever overlooked someone only to later realize the depth they carried? Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched something in your heart, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below to honor those whose greatest battles were fought long before we noticed.